Hello YouTube, this is DJ's Old Gauge Trains. I'm going to be doing a video of my New York Central 20th Century Limited set by the Golden Gate Depot. This is the 1948 20th Century Limited, and what you're looking at right here is the Hickory Creek observation car. This is, in my opinion, the most beautiful observation car ever made in Old Gauge. I love these large windows on the back of it, and you can see right through the car if you're at the right eye level. It's just incredibly done. I've added some extra figures in that observation car just to make it stand out more, and I pushed the LED strip to the back just a little bit more just to really just try and help it out and just bring out how awesome that looks. So here you go. This is the Hickory Creek. So I'm going to just quickly review this whole set. It's a 12-car set. You can see it. There's the observation car. Over here we have two roomette cars. Those are 22-bedroom roomettes. And then over here, these two cars here are 12 double-bedroom sleepers. This is a 442 sleeper. This is a kitchen crew dormitory car. This is a full-length dining car. This is the Atlantic Shore Lounge. And then over here, these are 10-6 sleeping cars. This is the Asaba River 10-6 sleeper. This is the East River 10-6 sleeper. And then this is the RPO. And then those are the diesels I have pulling it right now. I really would like some lightning stripe diesels to go with this, but I could not resist picking up these green E8s. They're just incredible. So right now, this is what I have pulling it. This would represent a late era 20th Century Limited if these green E8s were ever on the Century. The New York Central only had one ABA set painted like this. So, who knows, but it still looks great for the model railroading. I love those E8s. So what I'm going to do is I'll give you just a quick pan of each car, a close-up shot. So we'll start out with the trucks on this car, only because this is the only car to feature 6-wheel trucks, and you can just see the fantastic detail on those trucks. Golden Gate Depot did a fantastic job. The doors do slide open. As you can see, the other two doors on this side are opened up. We've got some really nice crisp lettering there, New York Central Railroad, U.S. Post Office, so on and so forth. Very nicely done. And then there's the baggage area. So it was a 85-foot RPO / baggage car. So the passenger baggage went in this side. And here's just a quick shot of the top. Very cool. So let's go in for a close look at some of these bedrooms in the 10-6 sleeping car. We have 6 bedrooms here, each with slightly different furniture configurations based on where the closet was located. If you look in there, we have a bench and a dresser in the back. Very cool. And over here we have a bench, sorry for the shakiness, a bench, a dresser, and a passenger. And here are the roomettes. We have a nice green bench over there. We have the door detail, and then we have a person sitting there. And there are 5 roomettes on this side of the car, and 5 roomettes on the other side. And this is the conductor's office, or the porter's office. And then we have a nice vestibule door and prototypical full-width diaphragms on this train. Very cool. So we're going to skip over the next car because it's exactly the same as the car I just showed you. It's another 10-6 sleeper. And we're going to go right to the lounge car. So the lounge car had its vestibule facing forward, and that was deliberate. So over here we have the lounge attendant's office. And then we come here to the actual lounge area with some tables and some chairs. And I added a few extra figures into this car. And if you see that round table there, I put a little centerpiece on there. Now here we have the lounge service door, and then over here we have the bathrooms and cabinets and stuff like that, basically the business end of the car. And that was deliberately right up against the dining car, so that if dining car passengers needed to use the facility, they could just walk right on the other side to the lounge and use the facility. So we have a little table there. I'm guessing that table was where the waiters would write your reservation down. This first window was a waiting area in the diner, and then the tables started right here. I still need to add more details, more figures, lamps, plates, whatever else, a whole lot more people to make this car come to life. But still, the furniture is really nice inside this car. And moving on down, you can see more tables there. And then we have a blank end, and this was a pantry storage area where plates and cups and glasses and wine bottles would be kept. And then we would come up to the crew dormitory kitchen. Now I've got this car facing the wrong way, and the vestibule really should be towards the rear of the train. But the reason why I have it facing this way is so I don't have to climb over and show you the other side. It'll just help me keep the camera steady. So what I'm going to do is start from the back end of this car and work my way forward. So here's a blank area. This is more storage, more pantry space. It would be right up against the diner typically. And then as we come over here, if you look inside, you can see the stove detail, sinks, and dishwashers, stuff like that. And we have more of that detail here. This is where the food was prepared, and the chefs and waiters would come and gather people's meals. This space over here looks like a good space to put cabinets and stuff for cans of food and whatever else. That's what I'm guessing that's for. And then we have the mid-car service door. Moving forward from that, we have the crew bathrooms. So if we angle this right, you can see two sinks inside these little windows. And if we stay at this same angle, you could see, but not very clearly because of the blinds, two toilets. So there's a men's room and a women's room. And if you come over here, because of where the furniture is, it's hard to see inside the car, but this is the crew dormitory quarters. And then this is the vestibule. There is no porter's window here because this is where the porter slept. And then if we take a look at the top of this car, this particular car's got some nice separately added roof vent detail. Got some nice stove exhaust vents there. A hatch. The hatch does not open, it's molded in. We got a nice little vent right there too. So moving on down, we come to the 442 sleeper. And this is a good time to just talk a little bit about the New York Central's advertising campaign as we're looking at this beautiful 442 sleeper. The bedrooms on the 20th Century Limited all faced the river. As the train would leave Grand Central Terminal and run alongside the Hudson River and then turn and run alongside the Mohawk River, passengers that purchased a bedroom on board this train were guaranteed a river view. So all of the cars, all of the bedroom sleepers were configured so that their vestibules would be toward the back of the train. And that was deliberate so that the bedrooms would always face the river. And that was a part of their advertising campaign. And it was successful. This train was very, very popular right alongside the Broadway Limited. They were in direct competition with each other. So I'm going to do one more pan. I know I've panned this car like, 6 times already, but I'm going to do one more and just show you The really nice furnishings. I love those little porthole windows up there where a fold-down bunk would come down and you could look out that little porthole window. This is a large room. As you can see, there's some nice swivel lounge chairs in there. And here's another large room just like it. And then, of course, we have the conductor's office there, or the porter. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's a bathroom. You can see the sink in there. And the toilet. So, this is a community bathroom, it looks like. And then, very interesting, this door does not have the fold-down steps like the other ones do, so I'm guessing this door was only opened on high-level platforms. Pretty cool. And here we have one of the 2 bedroom sleeping cars. These are 12 double bedroom sleepers. The bedroom configuration is the exact same as the bedrooms on a 10-6 sleeper. The only exception is that these cars did not have the 10 roomettes. They just had all bedrooms. So you've kind of already seen these bedrooms once when I did the 10-6 sleepers. So I'm just going to, there's the porter's office with the porter's chair. But what I'm going to do is just show you the other one really quickly. It's called the Port of Buffalo. And then as we come to the last car on this train, the lounge, you can see that the vestibule is facing forward, yet the bedrooms are still designed to face the same way as the other cars, so that the passengers that ended up with a bedroom in the Hickory Creek Observation Lounge would still be guaranteed that riverfront view. So really cool, just a really neat side note. I'll come back to this car before closing the video out. I just want to talk about these roomettes really quickly because they are not coupled to the train. The roomette sleepers, because you were not guaranteed a riverfront view, were not on the 20th Century Limited. Not until very, very late in life, around the late 50s, early 60s. These cars very rarely, if ever, showed up on the Century. But the cool thing is, Golden Gate Depot still included these cars in the 12-car set because later in life, they were converted to coaches, and the 20th Century Limited did have a coach section. So if you look inside these cars, they have coach seats. They don't have roomettes. So to run the 48 20th Century Limited, you would leave these cars off. To run a later era, you would take off a couple of the bedroom cars possibly and add these cars, and also add one of the separate sale slumber coaches that's coming out really soon. So these cars are really cool. I'm glad they included them because you could run 2 configurations of this train. So really interesting. I had to do a little bit of reading to find that out because when I first opened up the packages, I was wondering why these cars had coach seats, but now I know why, and that's really cool. So that's the review of the set. I will do another video of it running, but I just wanted to end with one more shot of this really famous lounge car. This car is still used in excursion service today. It has been preserved, and it is used on Amtrak trains. I've seen it on some of the Northeast Regional trains. I've seen it on the Crescent Limited. It gets a lot of usage, so it's a beautiful car, and I'm glad it's still preserved and in service. And you can see there, I added some menus and centerpieces to that table, added extra figures, blah, blah, blah. Looks really cool. And let's see, I've got a light shining on the camera, so it's difficult to see, but you can see the lighted 20th Century Limited drum head there. If you give me 1 second, I will try to get a good shot of that. I think that's a good place to stop the video since we're coming up on 15 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. This is DJ's Old Gauge Trains, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.